as the modus operandi, deceiving people. This is what is under communism. It's a reign of terror and a specter that is now ruling our world. So when coming back to Falun Gong, Ricky, many people were initially drawn to Falun Gong because of its healing effects. Like many people, if they're sick and they're feeling down or they're depressed, many people were initially drawn to a holistic practice that could bring out great understanding, great awareness, great health. And a significant reason for Falun Gong's popular appeal as well, it wasn't cultish, it wasn't extreme. It was very simple and straightforward. The requirements of people who practice this would just be truthful, compassionate, tolerant in your waking life, in your business, in your relationships, let go of negative attachments, and be responsible to yourself and others. It wasn't fanatical, as you saw in the video. Mr. Lee Hong-seo, who has been nominated for 5 Nobel Peace Prizes, a phenomenally honorable teacher, a humble teacher at that, who allowed this practice to be spread freely, had 200 students, and then within 8 years, just through word of mouth, 100 million people, and that's the reason why the CCP outlawed it as well and was threatened by Falun Gong, particularly, or Falun Dafa, and declared war on it, because it outnumbered the number of people practicing Falun Gong or Falun Dafa, the spiritual practice, this mind and body practice, outnumbered the number of registered party members in the Chinese Communist Party by 30 million people, Ricky. So when that happens in communism, they will do everything to destroy it. And the Chinese people recognize that Falun Gong, the core of their existence, their core of their traditional values, was rooted in this. And you know, they were very attracted. I mean, from people from all walks of life, like I said, all strata, all religions, all nationalities, you know, from farmers to university professors to homeschoolers to communist cadres to military soldiers to the highest-ranking Politburo members of the Communist Party. But because the Chinese Communist Party's military dictator, who also had to do with the CCP virus, by the way, hated it and wanted to destroy it. But I wanted to play another clip, because I don't want to talk too much, because I know people, a visual can tell 1,000 words, you know. But if I may, if I could share another clip with your lovely audience and for you. Here we go. Oh, let me see here.
Taking place in hospitals throughout the country as organ transplants suddenly began to skyrocket.
We've been asked to investigate allegations that there has been harvesting of organs of Falun Gong in China. Our bottom line conclusion, after considering everything as best we could, was that the allegations are true.
I began conducting comprehensive interviews with medical professionals, Chinese law enforcement personnel, and over 50 refugees from the Laogai system. But I estimate that 65,000 Falun Gong were murdered for their organs from 2000 to 2008.
Essentially what organ harvesting means is they're taking Falun Gong practitioners literally like cattle, holding in prison camps, testing their blood and other vital organs, and when someone comes into the country that needs a heart, a liver, a kidney, they find a match, they take the Falun Gong practitioner, extract their organs, of course killing them in the process.
People who are expecting this to sort of just be solved naturally by all we have to do is sit back and they'll fix it, this is wrong. The West has to take a role. And the one role the West can do is say, these are our values. We cannot go beyond this. There are certain lines we can't cross. This is a red line. That's an absolute red line.
Enver Tohti, the surgeon turned bus driver, says it's been 20 years since he removed the organs from that live prisoner. It remains a mystery why so few people have ever heard about the thing he says he cannot forget.
This is my experience. This is a real true story. If you keep silence, this tragedy will continue. And people, they just don't want to touch this evil. Because if you touch this evil, maybe at the end of the day, you may not be able to tackle this the consequences. That is my guess.
So what you just saw, Ricky, is the investigators who I brought on a coalition to London to testify in front of the British Parliament. I'll share that with you in a moment as well. But Dr. Enver Tohti, the bus driver, he was a surgeon in China who was forced by the Chinese Communist Party. He went on Bannon with me to share about this and the evidence. This is irrefutable. To all the skeptics out there who say, yeah, well, is this really going on? Is this really going on? This is truly going on. We have enough evidence lasting and spanning 25 years exposing the CCP for forced organ harvesting. And this, can you hear me? Ricky?
Yeah, sorry. I think did you accidentally hit the stop recording? Maybe.
No,
it wasn't you. I don't know. It just kept stopping. But either way, I started up the recording again, so we're good to go.
It's okay. No problem. So, Doctor, there's always going to be interference because there's, they like to infiltrate as well.
And organization, and I mean, it was obvious that they were
recording stopped.
Why? China
recording in progress.
China might be messing with us because they keep stopping the recording of this podcast. That's the first time that's ever happened. Never mind 8 times in one show, but